Welcome to this specialized training module on AWS security groups within the Cloudera Data Platform, or CDP. Securing your network perimeter is the first line of defense in the cloud. In this session, we will dissect exactly how CDP utilizes AWS security groups to protect your data lake and data hubs, covering the critical what, why, and how of traffic filtering rules. Let's dive in. To start, let's establish what we are configuring. In Oz, a security group acts as a virtual firewall that controls traffic for one or more EC2 instances. Unlike network ACLs, which operate at the subnet level, security groups operate at the instance level, offering granular control. In a CDP environment, we don't just use one big group. We logically separate them into two primary categories: a NOC or gateway group for nodes that need to accept external connections from your users, and a default group for worker nodes that communicate primarily with each other. This separation is crucial for maintaining a least privileged network architecture. Visualize your AWS VPC at the top level. Inside, the security groups function as the gatekeepers. We split the logic into two paths. The NOC SG, highlighted in orange, wraps around the gateway nodes. These are the entry points for user interfaces. The default SG, also in orange, wraps around the worker nodes where data processing happens. This visual separation ensures that traffic rules are applied specifically to the role of the instance, rather than a blanket rule for the whole network. Now let's discuss how you deploy these. During environment registration, you have two choices. Option 1 is letting Cloudera create them for you. You simply provide a sitter range for inbound SSH and UI access, and CDP automates the rest. Option 2 is providing your own existing security groups. For production environments, we strongly recommend Option 2. This allows your security team to audit the rules and enforce naming conventions before Cloudera deploys any resources. If you choose this path, you must ensure your pre-created groups meet the strict port requirements we will discuss next. This flowchart illustrates the decision process. Starting at environment registration, you branch into two strategies. The auto path lets Cloudera generate the groups based on a simple sitter input. The manual path, marked as production recommended, requires you to supply the specific NOCs and default security groups you have already configured in AWS. This path provides the highest level of compliance and control. Let's zoom in on the NOC security group. Its primary purpose is to allow your users to access the cluster. You must allow inbound TCP port 443. This is for the Apache NOC gateway, which proxies the web UIs for tools like Hue and Ranger. This rule should be restricted to your corporate VPN or specific sitter ranges. Additionally, port 22 is required if you need SSH access to the nodes. Note that if you are not using the Cluster Connectivity Manager, or CCM, you must also open port 9443 to the Cloudera control plane sitter so Cloudera can manage the cluster. Here we see the inbound traffic flow for the gateway. The user or admin connects via HTTPS on port 443 and SSH on port 22. These lines go into the NOC security group. Crucially, we also show the Cloudera control plane connecting on port 9443, but notice the label no CCM. This specific path is only required if you are not using the Cluster Connectivity Manager. All valid traffic terminates at the gateway node. Next is the default security group for your worker nodes. The golden rule here is often a surprise to traditional admins. You must allow all TCP and UDP traffic on ports 0 through 65535, but only from the internal VPC sitter or the security group itself. Why? Hadoop services dynamically allocate ephemeral ports for tasks like data replication and shuffling. Restricting this internal traffic will cause service failures. While this group allows open internal talk, it should strictly block direct inbound access from the internet to protect your data. This diagram focuses on the internal chatter. Inside the private subnet, worker nodes 1, 2, and 3 are constantly exchanging data. The bidirectional arrows represent the all ports rule, 0-65535, governed by the default SG. This ensures seamless internal data replication. Importantly, notice the red cross from the Internet Direct external access is blocked by this security group to maintain a secure perimeter. There is a major exception you must know. Cloudera Data Warehouse, CDW, and Cloudera I do not use the environment security groups we just discussed. These services run on Kubernetes and dynamically create their own security groups when you provision them. Even if you provide custom groups for the environment, CDW and I will ignore them and generate new ones. To secure these services, you must specifically configure authorized IP ranges or whitelist IPs within the service settings themselves to restrict access to the Kubernetes API and load balancers. This flowchart visualizes the divergence in logic. From the CDP environment, traffic to Data Hub follows the standard path, utilizing the environment SGs. However, the paths to Data Warehouse and Cloudera I diverge into the red box. These services automatically generate NEW security groups. You cannot rely on your environment-level work here. You must configure allow lists specifically within those services. We've covered inbound. Now let's look at outbound or egress. Even if your clusters are in private subnets, they are not islands. they must initiate connections outward. You must allow HTTPS traffic on port 443 to the Cloudera control plane for heartbeats and billing. Additionally, nodes need access to AWS S3 for data and logs, and to Docker repositories like ECR or Docker Hub to pull the software images required to launch services. Blocking these outbound paths is a common cause of deployment failure. This diagram tracks the egress path. Traffic originates from the private nodes on the left and flows through the NAT gateway. From there, it fans out to 3 critical destinations: the Cloudera control plane for management signals, AWS services like S3 and ECR for infrastructure, and Docker Hub for container images. All these paths must be open for a healthy cluster. To wrap up, let's review the best practices for AWS security groups in CDP. First, never restrict the internal traffic range of 0-65535 within your VPC. This is critical for Hadoop stability. Second, remember that CDW and AI require separate security auditing as they generate their own groups. Third, leverage the Cluster Connectivity Manager, CCM. Uses a reverse tunnel, allowing you to close inbound ports like 9443 and SSH, significantly reducing your attack surface. Finally, for production, always use pre-created security groups to align with your organization's compliance standards. This final checklist guides your security review. Start by verifying internal ports. If 0-65535 isn't open, fix it immediately. Next, check if you are using CDW or AI. If so, audit those specific service groups. Finally, check if you are using CCM. If you are, you can safely close inbound control ports for a highly secure, private posture. If not, you must leave port 9443 open for management.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by Quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material, so this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see these are all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper. It would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now the third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.